Relax konti yung arms, ha? Very good. SEA Games, Worlds, very good. Olympics.
Nakakampante ka. Last chance mo na to sa Olympics. Yung iniisip mo, ilang araw lang yan? Weeks or months? Pero to, ang tagal na nito siya.
Ina. Gago, buntis ako.
Yeah, I heard you.
Gago ka ba? Yun talaga yung sasagot mo sa akin? Uy! Gago! Ang ina mo, wala kang kwenta!
Di ba may qualifiers ka pa? 2 months na yun, di ba? Ba't di kayo maputo?
Sabi na kasi, puputok niya sa labas. So, ako na.
Ewan ko ng pamparenta. Bawal yan dyan.
Labag yan sa batas. Lalong-lalo na labag yan sa batas ng Diyos.
Sige na, ikaw na ba? Pamala mo na lang. Okay na lang. Sagot mo na lang. O, ito.
Good! Very good!
Drown out the noise. You're sunshine. Olympian. Okay?
Thank you so much both for being here and sharing sunshine with us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm of course in favor of divorce and abortion not legalized in the Philippines, or at least abortion being criminalized in the Philippines. We know these issues, the women are always at the losing end. So it's hard enough to be a woman in the Philippines, most especially, and even so when you're a woman who's still a kid. So I think the goal is when people in the Philippines watch this film, especially our legislators, it will open doors for at least even just a conversation or a discourse for proper legislation for topics like this in our country.
Personally, I am pro-choice, and I would want divorce and same-sex marriage to be legalized in the Philippines. Lots of steps to take pa in our country, but that's why I think it's important to tell stories like Sunshine's.
Also, you know, as much as there's this kind of heaviness to the story, you also front an athlete. You know, there's a lot of resilience and hope and self-belief. I guess I would like to know if you can tell us about the choice to choose an athlete as your main character, but also how you find balance in kind of keeping the kind of bittersweet of the story.
I chose an athlete as a lead character because I wanted to have a lead character that has a goal. Simply, just as simple as that. And I chose gymnastics because, rhythmic gymnastics in particular, because it's the sport that has no male counterpart, I guess. Artistic gymnastics, we have its male counterpart, but rhythmic, it's just female. It's a woman's sport. And gymnastics has a ticking time bomb in the you have to get to Olympics at age 20, 22, 23. Of course, Simone Biles is like an exception to the rule, but I want to have that ticking time bomb to the body of Sunshine as an athlete.
Thank you so much. And Elijah, what was the attraction to the role of Miki to you? I mean, I presume a script was handed to you.
Yeah, of course. I'm not attracted to that character in any way. I completely despise him. But of course, it was an easy yes for me because I've always been a fan of Antoinette Jadaone. And the topic of sunshine, the themes that it tackles are very essential and important to me as well. And I feel like as an actor, to be part of stories like this and to help tell them and expose it to the audiences would be a privilege for me. That's why it's just a blessing.
Thank you. And you're not attracted to the character. How did you manage to prepare for the role? Because it kind of requires a lot of manipulation also.
I almost said that it's definitely something that I'm familiar with. Knowing just as an actor, you observe and listen to different types of characters in real life. And characters like Miggy or people that I know, and I'm sure that everybody knows here as well, manipulative, gaslighter, sons of bitches, and and that's why it was easier for me to tap into that, empathize with it, even though if I don't agree with it. But also, I've worked with Antoinette as a producer before, and Maurice, who plays Sunshine, I've worked with as well. So the dynamics on set, the collaboration was very familiar as well, and it was easy to work with.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So first of all, we wanted to thank you for representing and voicing this important topic, because the performance was really moving and really amazed us and affected us a lot. And our question is, because we really liked the part with the little kids that were following around Sunshine, so we think it would have been her daughter if she wouldn't have aborted. And we wanted to ask you where the idea came from, because it was really emotional to see how she was leading the way, especially with the 13-year-old who then lost a kid, and you really saw the fear in Sunshine. Yeah, exactly. Sunshine's eyes, as soon as she realized that her may become daughter was so angry at her and sad when the other kid died. And we just wanted to know where this idea came from, because it really amazed us.
Thank you. When I was interviewing teenagers who got pregnant, who terminated the pregnancy and continued with it, one common denominator in their stories was that they would have like an imaginary friend. They were like talking to someone, an imaginary someone that they don't know, and sometimes they would have nightmares about like horror dreams about an imaginary kid, and they don't know who that is. But I guess it's like a personification of the chaos in their head. It's really, even though I have talked to them many times, they still can't explain exactly the kind of horror that they're going through while they're deciding. So I guess I wanted to make it like a more a personified personified version of the complexity of the things that are going through in their mind.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I'm also a Filipina. I would like to thank you for showing us this movie. Hold on, I don't. Okay, so just for context, every day in the Philippines, there's 500 teenage girls who get pregnant. For context, the capacity of this room is 1,000. So just so we know. I wanted to thank Antoinette and Elijah for bringing this story, this statistic to life with such tenderness with the story of Sunshine. It's so easy to condemn a teenage mother for the choices that she has to make, and I think you really portrayed how it's not that simple. And you did that in a way that was both realistic, a lot of people here can relate to that, and without demonizing the main character. So thank you for this very tender and yet intimate portrait of abortion. As you said, it's not something that is talked about in the Philippines. We say the A word, even amongst circles that tackle this issue. My question is, it has been successful tonight in opening up conversations about a very delicate topic in a very balanced way and non-judgmental way, I would like to think. Have you seen this kind of effect also at home in the Philippines? And what is it going to take to have this kind of non-judgmental, honest conversation about abortion? Thank you.
Thank you. This film has traveled to North America, to Australia, and this is our latest film festival, but it hasn't been shown in the Philippines yet. And we're hoping, because we have a very strict censorship board in the Philippines, and the Philippines is a predominantly Catholic country. So I am hopeful that when we go show it in the Philippines, it will be shown in full without cuts. That's my hope. My hope is that it will be shown, and we'll deal with all the criticism later. But the goal is just that, for it to be shown in the Philippines.
Hi, hello. I'm also Filipina, and I've been in Berlin for 5 years now. And I really relate to the film because before coming here, I was a student, and I had a pregnancy scare. So I was really terrified that I wouldn't be able to pursue my dream of coming here and studying and just discover the world. So this is very inspiring, it's very brave, and I can totally relate. I have 2 questions. Just to follow up on the previous girls' questions, do you think it's the soul of the unborn babies, not just simply a personification of their struggle that they experienced? And number 2, to follow up on her question, I just wanted to know if this will be screened in small cinemas in the Philippines, like not the commercial blockbusters, screenings, but smaller festivals or Cinema 71. I forgot that's it.
I guess it's up. I'm leaving it to the viewer. Whatever she may think about the kids in the film. It's really up to the viewer, to the audience. For the screening in the Philippines, definitely it wouldn't be like a wide release because definitely this film will not be rated for general patronage. It could be like restricted are 18 years old above, or I don't know. So we're thinking of distributing it in a different, very specific way, because it's not the usual rom-coms or the usual horror films that we screen in the Philippines. Thank you.
Hi, Direk. I'm Abby.
Hi, Abby.
Hi, huge fan. I wanted to ask... hello, fellow Filipina. Wala lang. Anyway, I wanted to ask more about the creative process. So, it's my first time watching Racal in the film, and she was great. And I was curious on how you work with actors to bring out the authenticity of their performances on the screen.
Racal is not a gymnast. She's not a gymnast, she's not an Olympian. She's a fine actress who's also a dancer. So that's one of the criteria that I used in choosing the actress. She has the build of a gymnast. She can dance, so she's already flexible. She's already graceful. For her portrayal in the film, we did a lot of scene studies, character studies before going to the set. So all of the discussions happen before we go to the shoot. And then when we're on set, it's really just me and her collaborating on the emotions, the goal of the scene. But when it's already her time to act in a scene, I just let her be, because we have done all the preparations before we start the scene. So it's as a director, it's really very it still surprises me when I work with actors like that who are just willing to let go and just be the character that they're in. Thank you.
I want to draw a link maybe to another movie. I love Filipino films and I love the Berlinale, and about 10 years ago I saw a documentary about a maternal station in Manila, and it looked like it was exactly the same where you filmed. And I wanted to ask, because I remember that back then it was a documentary, but it was so shocking, and there were all these 13, 14-year-olds, and there was also the nurses were talking to these girls and telling them what to do to not get pregnant. And there were like 2 and 3 mothers in one bed. So it was really shocking. And I wanted to ask if you know this film and if you know the filmmaker, and if you can maybe make a collaboration, because this is a documentary, that other film, and they cannot put it on some limits because it's all true. And so you can work together, and because it's shocking enough. I mean, this.
Thank you. I think you're referring to Motherland by Ramona Diaz, and yeah, I saw that documentary, and if you have a chance to watch that documentary, it's really, you have to be prepared to watch that film. Yeah. Ramona is a Filipina filmmaker who I really admire, and aside from Motherland, there are a lot of documentaries, interviews, small short documentaries available that I just devoured while writing the script. So I made sure that although it is fiction, the story of Sunshine is fiction, it is based on real life. So Sunshine may be just a character in this film, but she's a real person even outside. And she's not just Sunshine the gymnast, but Sunshine the 13-year-old who got impregnated by her father, the 9-year-old who got pregnant at 9 years old. So it's a story of all the helpless Filipina teenagers that I got to know while researching for the film.